Hey guys, it's Practical Gaming and we're doing something a bit different. We're going to look at some of the best Apple Arcade games on the App Store right now. Now, I've done videos on mobile games before. I've looked at Dodgecraft by Allforce, I've looked at Mario Kart Tour, Pokemon Masters, and I've played games like Fire Emblem Heroes in my spare time. So, I like a good mobile game, and I've been very curious about the Apple Arcade for a while now. And I finally bit the bullet and I signed up for the subscription service because some of the games on there look incredible. So I thought I'd play a couple of them and cherry pick the best ones for you guys to see. This will be a similar format to my indie games videos, so if you want this to be a regular thing on my channel, then let me know. And as always, I'll leave the links to all the games that I've found in the description below. So, let's get into it. First up, we have Oceanhorn 2 by Cornfox and Brothers, an action-adventure game that serves as the sequel to Oceanhorn Monster of Uncharted Seas for the Xbox One. For those of you who aren't familiar with the story, like me, they kind of throw you into the story from the last one with a deep monologue and a book on the table. They then place you into a rainy scene where an old man, Master Mayfair, and a robot meets Mesmeroth, who seems to be an old friend. Mesmeroth delivers to Master Mayfair a child, which is you, to make sure you don't face the same consequences that he does. Fast forward 18 years or so, and you find yourself in front of a boat about to take on this gorgeous island, which is where your story begins. The first thing that came to my mind when playing Oceanhorn 2 is, for a mobile game, this is absolutely amazing to look at, and considering the limitations you have on mobile platforms, they really did a solid job. I mean, I'm playing on an iPhone XR, which isn't bad, but by no means a powerhouse, and it ran pretty smoothly by all accounts. Throughout the game you can run, jump across ledges, collect items, fight monsters and solve various puzzles to get through the story. Now, I haven't played the first Oceanhorn game, but it gives me very similar vibes to Legend of Zelda, and that became very apparent the more I played the game. You have a little sword like Link does, you have a shield like Link does, you can roll and attack random enemies like Link does, and there's shrubs, boxes and other assets in the game that remind me so much of The Legend of Zelda. Even the dynamic of the game is the same. Wander around the world, enter a dungeon, collect keys and fight the big boss at the end. Which brings me on to the combat. It's fairly standard. You attack with your sword by tapping the icon multiple times for a combo, and you can shoot with your slingshot/gun for range. There's also a menu system which is next to your sword icon, which is used for items and doing quick heals, which is helpful when you're running low mid-battle. I do have an issue with the movement, and I do have to caveat this with it is a mobile game, but it feels really slow and I struggle to turn around at times, which is really frustrating. I know that Apple Arcade does support controllers on certain games, and I feel like this is definitely one that could benefit from that. Though I wanted to judge these games as solely mobile games, so I played them as such. At times, it doesn't even feel like a mobile game though, as the game is vast and open and so beautiful to look at. It just feels like a world you want to dive into for a couple of hours and forget everything else around you. It's quite a heavy-handed game and not like your typical mobile arcade game, but if you're interested in a fully fleshed out action-adventure experience on a smaller screen, then I highly recommend Oceanhorn 2. Next we have Where Cards Fall by Snowman, a puzzle game that uses folding cards to tell a story. Now unlike Oceanhorn 2, there are no words spoken in this. Well, there are, but it's more like Simglish, so anything about the story you have to infer. The concept is simple. You have to get from A to B using expanding cards to fill the gaps. You can expand them to any size within the parameters while you're not on it, and then you guide your character across the level. You can jump across small ledges, and in some cases you can stack cards on top of one another to get to higher places. Once you complete a level, you go into a little square space where a scene unfolds and you have to put the pieces together to find out the underlying story. While Oceanhorn 2 felt like a heavy game ported to mobile, this is the opposite. This felt like a through and through mobile game with simple but effective mechanics that you can play in 20 to 30 minute spells. Aesthetically, this is the most pleasing on the eye. The lighting, the colours and the music are very inviting and enjoyable to me. This tied in with the simple gameplay, the character design and the small little drawings and animations that happen when you move from place to place helps to create this calm and relaxed gaming experience. Also, the fact that they don't explicitly tell you what's going on leaves it up to interpretation, and you can make your own story, which is fun in its own way. Furthermore, the puzzles are actually quite challenging as you go through the levels. Like, it's no walk in the park by any means. They gradually increase the difficulty while adding new mechanics without shoving it in your face, which is the mark of very good game design. Where Cards Fall is an enjoyable, fun and soothing gaming experience, and if you enjoy solving puzzles in your own time while following along to a story, then you should definitely definitely consider this game. And finally, we have Rayman Mini by Ubisoft. Now, I love Rayman. I have done since I was a little kid, so it was a no-brainer for me to download Rayman Mini. I expected a smaller version of Rayman for me to play on the go, as is implied by the name. However, what I was expecting versus what I got was vastly different. Rayman Mini is a side-scrolling auto-run game that tasks you with getting to the end without dying. Rayman moves by himself from left to right, and you have to tap the screen to jump, double jump, glide, and knock objects and enemies out of your way. As you don't control how fast he moves, this isn't based on time. Rather, the main focus is on collecting as many lums while moving as possible. During the course, you'll find these lums which will be in various places on the map, and your aim is to collect all 100 before you reach the end. Some will be in places that seem hard to reach or out of place, so you have to keep an eye out because if you miss it, there's no going back. At the end, you count how many lums you got and complete the stage. Complete enough stages and you'll unlock a whole new set of levels. As mentioned before, this is about timing, not about speed, and it really tests your reactions to the changing environment because this game is not easy. Constantly while playing I was thinking, okay, that bit is coming up, I need to do this and that, and time it to perfection. And that's the key word here. You can have multiple goes at a level, but the end goal is to simulate the perfect run where you get all lums in a smooth playthrough. It's kind of got this temple run feel to it as a mobile game, but in the skin of a 2D side scroller. And also there's no real story here, so they just kind of throw you straight into the action. There are little Easter eggs to the Rayman universe here and there, but it doesn't really detract from the main game. Rayman Mini was enjoyable and good to play 5 to 10 minutes at a time. Personally, I would have wanted a Rayman game on mobile, but maybe I was asking for too much. It's quick, fun, doesn't take up a lot of storage, and a good way to pass time for a short bus journey. If you want something short and sweet and to the point, then I don't think you can get any better than Rayman Mini on the Apple Arcade. Well, that's it for me. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and make sure to leave a comment down below about what you guys thought about the games from the Apple Arcade and Apple Arcade in general. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.